We are live. We are live. We are live. We are live. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Queens Get the Money, man. My name is Barry Grant Jr. That is my good buddy over there, Tom Greer. What's happening, my man?
Nothing much. Like a freaking probably like the best week or two of the off season. Like it's crazy.
What a week! What a freaking week! You you know that Jordan meme that says I took it personally.
Yeah.
David Stearns and Steve Cohen took it personally. Okay, yeah. Bellinger, you don't want to come here. Cool. Tucker, you don't want. Cool. But I got something in the tuck for your ass. You know what I'm saying? And all the Mets fans that was out there, I want y'all in here. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be talking for a while. I want y'all to apologize at some point. All right. Oh, somebody got to apologize. Listen, I had to do it. I apologize to Stearns, but I was one of those people that reacted early. And I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and see what's going on. Let's see how it's going to play out. And boy, did it play out the way we wanted to.
Oh,
Tom,
my God.
like, can we ask for anything else right now as an off season? Now, we understand that they got to go ahead and play the games and see how they go ahead and make the playoffs or whatever it is. But I ain't going to lie to you. Like, thank you, David Stearns, for being able to do what you did, because we strike out on Kyle Tucker. I wasn't upset about that. And then we we get Bo Bichette, right? Then we go get Luis Robert. Then we go ahead and go trade for Peralta. Like, come on now. I can't ask for nothing else at this point. I can't.
No, I absolutely agree with you. It's kind of crazy. I've been hearing it all week from like different radio stations. Like, it's amazing that like David Stearns in one off season was able to like completely change what the Mets look like.
It's unheard of. And
I think the only thing that I could say that like I would love to see them do more of is just bring in another reliever, more relievers, like, because you could just never have too much relief help or pitching help in general. So, I mean, other than that, like I'm pretty happy about it. Maybe I ate it a little bit, but I never fully believed that Bellinger was coming here. Like if you were trying to create a player in a lab that was built to be a Yankee and play in Yankee Stadium for half a season, it's Cody Bellinger. Like Cody Bellinger is everything. Like is everything.
Left-handed bat.
Exactly. Left-handed bat. He can play everywhere. He can play in New York. Yeah. He'll feast on a short porch. Like it was the funniest thing. I think it was right after they announced. It was either the day before they announced the Bellinger signing, or the night before the Bellinger signing, or the day he signed. There was some Yankee fan on Twitter posted a video of Bellinger hitting that home run to right field, basically over Soto, as like a dunk. Oh no! I'm sorry, it was a Met fan that did that. It was the night before. They thought the Mets were going to steal from the Yankees, and I looked at it. I'm like, dude, that's a fly out to shallow right field.
Yeah, in a pitcher's park. Yep,
that's not the home run that you want to be showing everybody as a dunk on Yankee fans. But so like I never really fully believed the Bellinger stuff. Plus the Mets were never going to go over 5 years.
No.
But other than that, like I love what the Mets did. I love Bo Bichette as just like a baseball player and a person. Yeah. He seems awesome. Luis Robert, he's a good defensive center fielder. At worst, he's Juan Lagares, I think. And then hopefully
high upside.
Yeah, because he's going to be protected. Like he doesn't have to be the guy. He's probably going to bat like 6th or 7th, maybe.
Yeah.
And obviously Freddy Peralta coming in is just
so let me ask you this. Out of the 3 moves this week, which one is your favorite and why?
Oh man. I'm really torn between Bo Bichette and Freddy Peralta. I think I'm gonna say Peralta.
Okay.
Because I think, like, yes, Bo is going to hit, not minimizing what he's going to do, and Peralta only goes every 5th day, but, like, he's at least a guy that's gotten Cy Young considerations. Like, he's in the conversation as one of the top pitchers in baseball, and, like, as much as the Mets didn't hit with runners in scoring position last year, they needed pitching. They needed a guy at the top of the rotation, and Freddy Peralta, I feel like, can be that guy. So that's probably my favorite move of the offseason.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it's definitely between Bo and Peralta for me, but if I had to choose, I would definitely go Peralta just because of what we gave up for him made so much sense.
Yeah.
Because Brandon Sproat is definitely going to be on the cusp in regards to being one of our, maybe a 7th starter for us, right? Like one of the guys that's going to be in reserve, but he has a better path to be able to get to the bigs and be a consistent starter with the Brewers, right?
Yeah.
Like with Jet Williams, there was no path for him to be on this team, unfortunately.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to play center, wasn't going to play shortstop. He wasn't going to play second base. He like, and the thing is, it's like he wasn't a David Stearns guy, right? Yeah. And that's a big thing. He's good. He's one of the top prospects in all of baseball, top 50 prospect. But if David Stearns is not like enamored with you, like just think about the prospects that he let go. Luis Angel Acuna, gone. Jet Williams, gone. Right? These are guys that are
who's the guy they traded to? Who was the one that they traded to? Drew Gilbert. Drew Gilbert was another one.
Drew Gilbert to the Giants, right? So there's all of these guys that are not his guys. Yeah, he likes them, but if he can be able to, package them up and move them for something else, for me, I don't think that we lost a lot in the Freddy Peralta trade. Brandon Sproat may end up being one of the most dominant pitchers in all of the National League and all of baseball. And that may bite us in the ass, right? But you have to give to get. Yeah. And the fact that we didn't have to give that much, in my opinion, for Freddy Peralta, who led the NL in wins and all that stuff or whatever. He had a career high, 2.70 ERA. Like, that was great because everybody's like, oh, my goodness, we gave up too much. What do you think that you would have to give up for a Tarek Skubal? What would you think you would have to really give up for that?
Well, but the difference, because I agree with you and I don't. Like, I do think the Mets gave up a lot. I do think they gave up a lot, but just because I think they gave up a lot doesn't necessarily mean I think it's a bad move, because Sproat, I liked Sproat. I thought he showed some good stuff last year, but the thing about the Mets is, like, all we keep hearing is, again, really good farm system, but that we're deep in developmental pitchers, that there's a lot of guys that are going to be coming through the pipeline that we don't even know about yet. They got some really good stuff. So, like, okay, the Mets are kind of a pitching factory. I can eat the Sproat thing. You can get him away. Jet Williams made me a little nervous because I know that the thing on him is that he can hit. Like, he's a good hitter and can play a good infield. But again, he's blocked. He's kind of blocked on the infield.
Give me AJ Ewing over Jet Williams.
But Jet's been really good. I mean, again, but I don't. But to get to my point, like, I don't. It doesn't really matter because, like, they do have other guys that are there that can take those, that can come up to those positions. I happen to just like Jet Williams because, as a short dude myself, having some short guy representation on the Mets feels like a great thing. Freddy Peralta, I think he's like 5'7". So, like, cool. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
And I always like Jet Williams, but it's like, the Mets can't be thinking about where they're going to – the Mets right now can't necessarily be thinking about, okay, where's this guy going to be for me in 3, 4, 5 years? You got to be looking at right now. Like, right now, you got to go win right now. And is Jet Williams going to help you win right this minute?
No.
Not necessarily. So I'm going to go with a guy that's going to help me win right now, even if it's a potential rental. But on the Skubal thing, the difference with the Skubal thing is you're trading all of those prospects. It'd be significantly more than what we traded for Peralta. But you're getting the best pitcher in baseball. Him and Stearns.
True, but you can be able to go get the best pitcher in baseball, and he can contribute to your team, being above water and keeping afloat. But if you go ahead and dump the entire prospect pool on one guy, you can literally change a franchise, right? And when you talk about the Washington Nationals getting the package that they got from the Padres, they're literally living off of that right now in regards to Cruz and what's the young kid's name, and their big bat James Wood, right? Like, that's literally the core of their team and the future of baseball on that team from that one trade. So my thing is, like, I understand the Skubal thing, and I like him. I think if you have to do it, then cool. But I would be very hesitant to be able to empty out the cabinet for just one dude when you can literally have guys that can be able to reshape your franchise in a few years. You know what I'm saying? It's just
the thing is it's just it when it's made as clear as day that the Tigers are not going to be
moving him right now,
and they're not trading him right now. Like, I don't even like, and even then, like, if the league knows that Skubal isn't like the Tigers aren't going to sign him, why are they going to unload the farm for him? So like, all right, we'll just get him. We'll just get him when he comes to free agency. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
because he's a Boris guy, so you're not going to trade him to be like, oh, we're bringing him here and we're going to re-sign him in season. That's not going to happen. So
yeah.
It made sense. So if you got all these prospects, you got all of these guys that are, either blocked or we just have an abundance of them.
Yeah.
You got to use some of them to get some good players. And I mean, David Stearns probably wasn't going to give up a draft pick of his own to go get Framber. Ranger Suarez, he's a cool pitcher, but like the Mets have been linked to Freddy Peralta, it seems like all offseason. And this is the guy that they had to go get. And I'm excited for it. Like it's finally you don't feel like you have to talk yourself into a Mets rotation. Like for two seasons, we had to talk ourselves into being like, okay, pitching lab's going to get this through. Now it's like, okay, no, look, Freddy Peralta gets to be the ace, gets to be the top of the staff. Then we get to go McLean. Like McLean doesn't have to have all the weight of the Mets pitching staff on his shoulders. He can just be him. So
he can develop at his own pace.
Yeah. So I understand that people like the future and prospects. I understand that people are worried about Peralta being a free agent, but like worry about that when the time comes. Like worry about that when the season's over. We're at the end of January. Pitchers and catchers haven't even reported yet. Why are we caring about I think I know why, but why are we caring about next offseason already?
Right.
I think I kind of know why, but
Well, let's of course. Let's go ahead and talk about that because we were talking about it off mic before we went live. What are the chances, in your opinion, of Freddy Peralta? Because the report came out that he's very, very adamant, not really adamant, but he's open to an extension, as soon as possible with the Mets. So, what are your thoughts about that, and what are the chances you feel that that's going to be able to happen before opening day?
I don't want to say 0% chance because
zero.
I don't want to say zero.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to say zero because obviously anything can happen. David Stearns is very familiar with Freddy Peralta. He paid him once before already. Yeah. So, but my thing is David Stearns has shown you this whole offseason that he doesn't want to negotiate against himself, and he wants to let the market dictate what a guy is going to get and if they're going to move forward with a player.
Okay.
And I don't see David Stearns throwing money at Freddy Peralta before the season starts when there's so many variables that can happen. Like he's just getting in here. He's never pitched in New York yet. I'm not trying to nitpick. I think Peralta's going to be awesome, but if you look at his game logs, he goes like 5 innings, which is pitching nowadays. But if he starts having innings issues, can't make it through 5, he's not handling New York very well. Like there's so many variables that could happen that I don't see David Stearns just making Freddy Peralta the guy that he's going to go out in front of and just give him a contract before he can see what he would get on the open market. Because look at it now. Like Framber Valdez won a World Series and he's still sitting there. Nobody's knocking down his door to give him a contract right now, or at least give him what he wants. So like Freddy Peralta is going to be 30, 31 next year, going to be hitting the free agent market. We obviously don't, impending lockout withstanding, like he's not going to get the Skubal deal. He's not going to come anywhere close to the Skubal deal. So like, why wouldn't David Stearns just say, yeah, you know what? Let's see what happens during the season. If you go win a Cy Young, great. You did great for us, but we're going to figure out your contract situation at the end of the offseason when we can see what the league's going to want to pay you,
I'm pulling up his numbers from last year. We're talking about Freddy Peralta. So he had 176 innings. That's a career high. So over the last 2 years, 32 starts last year, 33 starts this year, and 173 innings and 176. So he's approaching 200 innings, which means that he's approaching Bulldog era. Because the one thing about Freddy Peralta that a lot of people tend to not realize is that he's a guy that kind of hit his stride late.
Yeah.
Like he got called up and struggled a lot, had some control issues, and his velocity has gone up from 91, 92. So now he's anywhere between 95 and 97. So this is a guy that's kind of he's figuring out every year now on a consistent basis how to be able to be more of a bulldog pitcher. So I understand the whole concern about the innings. I don't think it's going to be a problem. I think you're going to see Freddy Peralta be a guy that's going to be able to give you 6+ on a consistent basis. In regards to the contract, I understand what your thought process is. You gotta understand New York. You gotta see how you handle it, all that stuff. We gotta figure out if you're actually a number one. I just feel that the fact that Stearns knows that guy more than anybody else, and you gotta remember that guys are going to, like, when you think about extending somebody, you're projecting out what we think this guy is going to be able to do for us here. And I just think that out of anybody, I think Freddy Peralta has the best chance to be able to be extended before the season just because of those situations. And also, too, the biggest issue with that is the lockout. We talked about that off by, like, the lockout is a concern. So a guy like Freddy Peralta, who's 29, probably going into, by next season, going to his age 30 season, who's going to go ahead and go give him an 8-9 year deal? You're not seeing that. So if you can be able to lock in a 5 or 6 year deal at a reasonable AAV right now, I think you might want to take that chance more than anything else. Oh, yeah. And I think David Stearns, being the fiscally responsible GM that he is and president, I think he's going to be looking at it like that as well. Because when you think about it, if Peralta has another big year, say he has another year where it might not be 2.70, but he has a 2.90 ERA, 16 wins, has 205 innings, 225 strikeouts this year, finishes top 5 in Cy Young votes. That 5-year deal and that AAV of maybe $26-27 million, that's now out the window. You're now going to have to pay a lot more for a guy who you think has always been your guy, but now you're going to have to pay a premium for him because you allowed him to be able to hit the market when you could have took the bullet, take the risk, right? Because it is a risk to be able to sign him, extend him, but sometimes you have to take the risk to be able to be more fiscally flexible going forward into the next winter meetings. You know what I'm saying?
No, I know what you're
saying. How I'm looking at it too.
No, I can totally see the way. I can totally see what you're saying, and like it all makes sense. I get it. It's just David Stearns' track record tells me that this is like he's like how Scott Boras says all of his free agents are testing free agency. Yeah. David Stearns' thing is he's always going to test the market and see what the market's going to see what the market is. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
But not to cut you off, but here's where it gets dangerous, though, Tom, is because the fact that Tarek Skubal is hitting the market, right? Yeah. There's going to be a lot of teams that are not going to be in the Tarek Skubal market. But guess whose market they're going to be in?
Yeah, but
you know what I'm saying? So, like,
no, I feel like what you're saying.
Yeah, the teams like the Dodgers, the Yankees, maybe the Cubs, maybe the Blue Jays are gonna be in the Tarek Skubal market. There's not gonna be a big market for them, but those teams are gonna drive the market up. But all those other teams that might be in the mid-tier market that want a number one guy, he's like, okay, well, he's not Tarek Skubal good, but he's still very good. There's going to be a lot more teams in his market than they would be anyway, and now that's going to drive the price up.
Well, yeah, but again, like I guess I'm just looking at it from I'm putting essentially like Skubal and Peralta like almost in different leagues. Like, sure, the Dodgers and Yankees and the Mets, hopefully the Mets, but like a lot of teams, a lot of teams are going to be throwing money at Skubal, but like I don't know. I don't see the Mets not unless some team is like, hey, Freddie, we're gonna give you like 7 years, and we're gonna give you the Dylan Cease contract, which the Mets won't touch. The Mets won't ever do that. I don't even necessarily think he's gonna get that because again, he's gonna be going into his age 30, 31 season. So yeah. I think his age is the thing that's screwing him. The fact that it's kind of like how Pete wanted a long-term deal, but Pete's in his 30s, so he wasn't going to get that until the Orioles gave him a 5-year deal.
We got a funny troll in here. Yankees girl -161. Shouts to you, Yankees girl, for being in here, driving up the algorithm. We appreciate it. Listen, if you don't like the Mets, you don't like the Mets. It's all right. We ain't got no smoke for the Yankees. We don't talk about the Yankees on the show. A lot of Yankee fans like to talk about the Mets because sometimes we live rent free in your heads. So shouts to you, man. You know, we not gonna give you no smoke.
No, hell no. Hell no. You like whatever team you want. But yeah, so like that's all I mean. Like could David Stearns be like, yeah, I know Freddy Peralta. I know he's going to adjust here. I know he's going to be fine, and give him a contract extension before the season. Sure, but I'd almost be more convinced that he would give him a contract extension in season than before the season, just because he's never taken the mound at Citi Field yet. You know what I mean?
So you think
you're paying him for maybe?
Okay. So I
think he's going to free agency. That's what I think. I can
rock with that. I would listen. You think he's going free agency? I hope that he doesn't, because there's just too many variables that you can be able to lose a guy to free agency, just like how we lost Edwin Diaz when you thought that Edwin Diaz was in the bag. Like Edwin Diaz, right? It still haunts me.
It's different though. It is.
But again, they thought that they had a reasonable deal for him. He has his different parameters. The Mets don't meet the parameters right away. Somebody says, yeah, we can do that. And he doesn't even give the Mets a chance to match. Like that, you're going to run the risk of that. So if you have a guy that you can be able to pair with a Nolan McLean for a lot of years, I don't think that it's necessary to take that risk to have him go to free agency to test the market. Like, fuck the market at this point. Get your guy, lock him in, and then we can go ahead and go get Tarek Skubal and now have a three-headed monster that nobody has in baseball.
But if you have evidence that guys are in their early to like mid-30s not getting those long-term big money deals, why would David Stearns not just follow that same trend? Because we've been seeing it for the last couple of years. Like there's a lot of guys that hit free agency in their 30s and then they just sit. Who was it? It was didn't Corbin Burns take a while to sign and he didn't get the money he was looking for? There was a Yankee pitcher that went to the Diamondbacks. I forgot his name. Oh my God, that's bothering me. There was a Yankee pitcher that wound up going to the Diamondbacks, and he sat in free agency for a while, didn't get the deal that he wanted. So I understand what you're saying. I see David Stearns. I see what the pitching market has looked like.
Jordan Montgomery, that was
Jordan Montgomery. Thank you. That is exactly what I was looking for. And also, like if we really think about it, the people that are going to be involved in the Skubal thing, it's literally just going to be the Mets, Dodgers, Yankees, and that's probably it. Right?
No, I get it. But
the Dodgers, I think the reason that we got screwed on Diaz was because it was the Dodgers giving him that big deal. Diaz went to go ring chasing and took the Dodger deal. You know, I don't necessarily think if the Dodgers beat us for Skubal and they take Tariq Skubal, I think it's almost a mortal lock that Freddy Peralta is coming back to the Mets next year.
But the problem that I have with that is that I hear you about Diaz probably ring chasing, but Diaz had the contract that he wanted, right? So he told the Mets, this is what I want. And Stearns said, oh, well, I'll offer you something in the ballpark, but we can go higher. And the Dodgers, who are a better team than us, said, we're not going to play cute with you. We're just going to give you what you want, right? That's my thing. It's that if your guy wants to be here and he said, this is my parameter, this is what I want, stop being cute with shit. Just give him what he wants, and then you move on, because that's my thing. So here's a question with Black Banner 416. You don't think that he'll sign a 3-year high AAV deal before he hits the market? No. I don't think that that's a smart deal for the Mets to offer him, because I think that at this point of Peralta's career, he's not old, but he's getting to the point where you want to secure a longer term deal. So if he can be able to lock in a 5 or 6 year deal right now, that's better than a 3-year deal, high AAV deal for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for him. Yeah, I think it's better for him than the Mets. Yeah.
For the Mets, but I also think for the Mets, it's not a bad deal, because again, if you're looking at his trends, this is a guy that struggled early in his career. He's now starting to figure it out on the back end of his career. Kind of reminds you of and I'm not comparing him to this, but remember, Jacob deGrom had a very late start to his career, right?
Yeah.
He was great from the start, but as he got older, he got better. And I think that Peralta is going to be kind of the same way, is that as he ages and learns how to be able to pitch more, he's going to be better. So if you can be able to lock him in at a 25, 26 AAV contract, you're literally stealing him at this point.
That's
you
true.
know what I mean?
But again, but I also
and if he was more up and down, Tom, then I would agree with you. But the trends that I'm seeing, he's trending in the way that you want him to trend. And if he's willing to take a 5 or 6 year deal at a reasonable AAV just because he wants the security, I don't see how you can walk away from that just because you want to test the market.
That's true, but I also think we have to split two things. Like we have to understand that sure, he's open to signing a contract extension, and that's great. But just because he's open to signing a contract extension does not mean that he's looking for the reasonable, hey, I scratch your back, you scratch my back kind of deal. That's not what that means. Like, he just means, hey, I'm on a team that's got the richest owner in baseball. This guy's throwing around a lot of money. I know they need pitching. You know, I kind of like it here. I got a good rapport with David Stearns. I would consider staying here. That's all he's saying. He's not saying I'll take give me a 5-year deal, whatever. Give me an AAV that works for the both of us. That's not necessarily what he's saying.
Well,
you know, so
I get you.
And again,
I don't see him walking away from a 5-year 150. If Stearns offers him 5-year 150, he's not turning that down. He's not turning that down.
Maybe not, but again, but you got to. I mean, outside of Juan Soto, you got to show me the evidence of David Stearns doing something like that. Like, we can both agree that like that might be a good idea. I do kind of. Again, not being negative. I don't want to be construed as me being negative. I want to see him pitch here first. I want to see him take the mound on City.
He's going to be fine.
I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is. I love Freddy Peralta. I'm sure he'll be fine.
Yeah.
But if I'm committing long term to somebody, especially getting into their 30s, which is crazy to say because I'm 33 and I don't feel old.
Yeah.
But
you're so young.
I would rather see the guy pitch here first.
Yeah.
And then we'll make our decision. You know, I think it makes total sense. Again, the Mets have pitching prospect after pitching prospect. If they need to go, if Freddy Peralta decides to take money somewhere else next offseason, which is, again, that's a tomorrow us problem. That's not even a today us problem.
Yeah.
I'm sure the Mets can work out a deal to go get somebody else. You know, I'm not crazy worried. I'm just like looking here at the 2026 Mets, and I'm like, we got ourselves a pitching rotation.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
That is fair. All right. So we got another question here from John R464. Do you think Stearns would pull the trigger if Valdez market collapses? Peralta, Valdez, and McLean would be quite the three-headed monster. Listen. There's reports. I didn't talk about this before, but the Mets are still in on Framber Valdez. Like, the QO is not going to bother David Stearns if the market is right. Like, if he gets the deal that he wants, he's not. We don't care about the QO at that point. Like, we did it for Bo Bichette, but at the end of the day, if you can get a guy at your price value for you, then you can be able to sacrifice some international money. You can sacrifice some compensatory picks, right? But listen, with the picks that we have, with the scouting department that we have, I don't think that that's going to be a big deal for us. Our farm system is loaded. You know what I'm saying?
True.
We have struck gold on the international market as well in regards to young prospects. So I'm not worried about the Mets not being able to get value no matter how many picks they have. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, if you get the value that you want, you have to get him. You cannot say, oh, well, we're not going to sign Framber Valdez because of the QO. Fuck the QO. Like, if you want to win, you better go ahead and go get the guys that can be able to help you win. And that's how I look at it.
No, and I guess I agree with you. I still just, again, with David Stearns like the idea of being able to develop their own talent. I don't see him giving up the picks for it. And I don't know. It just creates the Mets needed Bo Bichette. Like the Mets need. Like I'm not saying that the Mets don't need Framber, but you can realistically look at the Mets rotation and say Framber would be a luxury. Like they needed Bo Bichette. They needed a guy that if he's not necessarily going to put up the home runs that Pete did, but he has some pop. He gets all the dude does is hit. He gets clutch hits and hits with runners in scoring position. So they needed to make that move for Bo Bichette. The Framber Valdez thing, I don't think they're going to want to give up more draft picks, more international spending money. And also, oh, by the way, like that would be the craziest logjam. Are we going to do an 8-man rotation? Because you're going to have to trade Senga or Scott or Senga's probably the only one that you'll be able to dump to get something for. But I just think there's not enough space in the rotation to fit in Framber Valdez.
Armand, who's my man, shouts to Armand. He's always in here bringing the facts for us. So he said, Mets rotation right now: Peralta, McLean, Peterson, Holmes, Senga, Minaya with Tong and AAA, and a returning Christian Scott. So a lot of Christian Scott can be able to be put into the bullpen for if we need bullpen help. Same thing with the Peterson or even Minaya. So here's the thing, right? We just had this conversation. I love the fact that we can be able to segue into this, Tom. That you see it right there on the screen. That is our rotation.
Yeah. Let's
go ahead and just look at those names, right? Peralta is a lock in regards to being able to even if he's not a 2.7 ERA guy, even if he's because he's naturally around 3.4, 3.5, even if he pitches to a 3.8 ERA for us this year, still a very good year, right?
Yeah.
McLean, we know that is gonna have a good solid full season with us, right? I think Senga is primed for a bounce back. Holmes had a pretty decent year. Peterson concerns me, right? Just because of how he broke down, because he never pitched that many innings in his life before, right? Minaya is a question mark. At $25 million, he's a huge question mark. Christian Scott coming off of injury, huge question mark. We don't know how good he's going to be. I'm not saying that he's not going to be good, but we haven't seen it, right? Jonah Tong, the same thing. You're going to let him bake in AAA. We're not even going to touch him right now, right? So out of those other guys, I'm not sold on Minaya. And if you can be able to go get yourself a Framber Valdez, now you can be able to use Minaya as kind of like an extra guy, whether you keep him in long relief, you keep him in bullpen situation, if you need a spot start here or there. And now you can be able to move a David Peterson and now be able to go get something in your farm system, no matter what it is. But now you can be able to replace Peterson with a Framber Valdez, and now you have more guarantee that you're going to have some good, consistent pitching in your lineup on a consistent basis for a full season. That's what I'm saying is that, yes, it's luxury, but it might actually be a need just because of the uncertainty at the back end of the rotation. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, well, look, again, it's kind of similar to the Freddy Peralta conversation, where I understand where that makes sense. Like I understand inserting Framber Valdez into the rotation makes the rotation look a little scarier. I totally get it. It's just, do I think the Mets are going to make that move? I genuinely don't. I don't see them getting over that qualifying offer stipulation. And I just don't see them. I don't see them necessarily wanting to give up on Peterson, Holmes, Senga, Minaya. Well, I'm less convinced that they're not ready to give up on Senga. Like there's a part
they're not giving up on Senga.
A part of me thinks that they might dump Senga, but again, I'm not as with Peralta at the top of the rotation. Peterson did fall off a cliff at the end of the year. I'm not going to deny that, but you got to admit, for the most part last season, David Peterson was the ace of that staff. David Peterson was the only guy giving Mets length in any way, shape, or form. He's a lefty. I think again, I understand that Framber Valdez would be a good move. I just don't think the Mets are going to make it, and I think it's okay.
I got a hot take for you.
Sure.
I trust Griffin Canning over David Peterson.
Oh man, that's a scorching take. That is a
scorching take.
Time out. Real quick.
David Peterson has had one good season for the Mets. One good season, and people are just losing their minds. One good season out of his entire Mets tenure. I've had enough of him. you can send his ass to Mars just like you can send Vientos to Mars because he hasn't proved enough to be able to be a clutch pitcher when you need him. So get his ass out of here and give me Framber Valdez or give me a Griffin Canning. I'd rather get him on the cheap.
No,
I'd rather get him on the cheap. Get his John Meese thrown ass out of here.
But again, I don't. I get it. I get it. I've been frustrated.
You feel what I'm saying? Like,
I've been frustrated with Peterson. Well, no, I do not agree with you. I do not agree with you. Well, Griffin Canning was half a season.
You're right. That's a hot take. Don't worry about that.
But no,
I'm just saying.
But and maybe it's just because I put Framber so far out of my mind because I just definitely do not believe that it's happening. Like again, it's a different conversation between me saying it would be a good idea and he would fit in the rotation or make the rotation better. I agree he would make the rotation better.
Yeah.
But do I think that the Mets are actually going to do it with the qualifying offer, with the loaded starting pitching staff they currently have? That's where I think the Mets won't make that move. I don't think that they want to shoehorn another starter in here. I don't think they want to give up more draft picks. I don't think they want to give up more international spending money. So I think we're going to roll it out. And again, if we're rolling it out, the rotation that was just listed before, I'm actually happy about that. Like Peterson is a 3, like if you probably flip-flop Peterson and Senga, depending on how Senga goes. But like Peterson is a 3 starter. I'm fine with that. You're not facing the best pitcher every day. You're not facing the best pitcher every time you make a start.
3? No, he's not a 3. Absolutely not. Senga or Holmes is our 3. Put his ass at 4 or 5.
That's fine.
If he's a 5th starter, then I'm okay. But if we gotta rely on him as a 3 star, no, I don't want that. I don't want that.
I'd probably go after last year. I'd probably go Manaea 5. To be quite honest.
Manaea has a lot to prove.
This is something it bothered the crap out of me all year last year, and I didn't get the chance to really rant about that on this show because we were already past the season.
Yeah.
There should be a rule in baseball. If you are at all injured as a pitcher in spring training, you should not start the season until you are 100% ready. Sean Manaea got hurt in spring training, had floating bodies in his elbow.
Still does.
In spring training, still does. They rushed him back to health, got him into the starting rotation, and he was never the same.
Yeah.
Never the same.
He had the oblique problem and never recovered from that. He had the floating bodies in the elbow. Like there's so many things. But that's my thing. It's that he still has the floating bodies in his elbow. He didn't get surgery on that. So he's still a question mark at $25 million
that's
a
why
year.
5. That's why he's going to be at 5. He's going to be at 5, and he might even be in the bullpen when we get to the end of the season.
And on top of that, I don't think we need 2 lefties in the rotation. If it's not,
you get 2 left. Oh well, wait, is Manaea lefty?
Yeah.
Oh, you would have 2 lefties anyway if you got Framber, isn't?
But I would rather him than I would rather a sure lefty than 2 ones that are iffy. You understand what I'm saying?
No, again, I agree with you. I agree with you. Getting Framber Valdez in here would be good, but do I think the Mets are actually going to do it? I do not. I think a lot of this. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Finish.
I was saying I think a lot of the smoke around the Mets still being involved with Framber is them trying to Framber's trying to drum up some interest. Like, hey, look, guys, the Mets are still interested.
Because I think the only team outside of us that has been locked in on Framber is the Orioles. So the reason why he hasn't signed with the Orioles yet, I don't know what the offer is they're keeping it very close to the vest. So we'll see.
Yeah, and it's again, and it is the Orioles.
Yeah, so Framber's
like the Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah, he's probably like, I don't want to fucking go to the Orioles. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna wait this out.
Yeah, I'm gonna Baltimore beat the Yankee division. No way.
If I'm gonna go to the AL East, I'm gonna at least go to the damn Blue Jays or something. I'm not
pay
going
the Canada taxes and go play for a team that might actually win something.
Tampa Bay, come get me. Like, you know what I mean?
Like, oh my God, yeah. Well, which one would you rather go to? Tampa Bay.
I'd rather go to the Rays. I'd rather go to Rays, and the reason why is because no state tax. It's nice weather, and the team might be bad, but at least I could be able to stunt out there and be able to do
true, and you get to ruin the Yankees' day at least a couple
Correct.
Games
and you know that the pitching lab for the Rays is really, really good. So he'll be fine. Question here from John R464. They should sign one more arm. We definitely agree on that, both of us. Although we disagree on who should it be. He said, I like Giolito also. Listen, here's a question for you, Tom. I'm going to give you 2 names. Mets are going to sign either one of these guys. Who do you want over the other? We got Giolito or we have Quintana? Which one you want?
Oh, hold on 1 second. Jose Quintana. What did he look like last year?
After coming off a dominant season with the Brewers last year.
If I'm being brutally honest with you, I might say Quintana.
So
I might say. I mean, their ERAs are. I mean, he had a little bit of a higher ERA than Giolito last year. I might say Quintana just because, like,
he's pitched here before.
I'm familiar with Quintana. He's pitched here before.
Yeah.
You know, I still have an affinity. I still love the 2024 Mets for what it's worth. So
he should have been. They should have re-signed him last year, man.
I agree. No, I absolutely agree. I mean, but the thing that scares me about Quintana, it was the same. It ended up working out, but it was the same thing that scared me when he pitched in the playoffs. Was Quintana is one of the guys that he doesn't throw strikes. He dances around the strike zone,
and he gets barrel hard too.
And anytime I see a pitcher that like doesn't throw strikes, it just infuriates me because at some point he's going to play a lineup that waits him out, and they know he's not going to throw a strike, and then he just loads the base, he just puts everybody on, and it just makes me want to put my head through the TV. But, I think I would still go Jose Quintana over Lucas Giolito.
What if I told you that the Mets might be in Quintana's market?
I saw that. I think I saw a tweet about that recently.
Oh.
But who are you bumping? You're going to bump Peterson for Quintana?
You're damn right. Listen, anybody that the Mets get right now, you send Peterson to Mars. Send him out of here, okay? That I don't want him on his team.
Where's this love? Where's this love for the homegrown guys, man?
No. I am okay with the homegrown guys when they have showed me more than one season of being consistent and good. Like he just look at his numbers. He's been rubbish outside of 1 year. Give me a break. Give me a break.
He went 10-3 in 2024 with a 2.90 ERA.
Yeah.
That's not that bad.
It ain't that bad, but look how many innings he pitched.
Innings pitched. He pitched 121 innings.
There you go. All right, you can be able to look. Anybody can look good in 120 innings because they didn't have. Listen, that was his bounce back year after having the horrible year when he was sent down multiple times. Right.
Yeah.
Then he came back. Everybody's like, oh, well, he's gonna have a bounce back year, and then he gave us half a season. He gave us half a season.
He gave us more than half a season.
He gave us. Listen, from June on, he was horrible. He was horrible.
He was the only
he was horrible.
He was the only guy that ever showed up.
I understand, but after June, he was the poster child of horrible. Him and Manaea and all the rest of them, he was in there. Garbage. And he's still here. All right? If you want to go ahead and get the stink out of the locker room, you start with David Peterson and get him out of here. Okay? Get him out of here.
I don't know, man. I just can't give up on him yet.
I know you can't.
You have to give up on him yet. It's just I just like
look, homegrown talent. Get him out of here.
But it's not even just that. It's not even just that. It's just that like I'm gonna sound like old man yelling at the clouds right now, but like I'm not old.
Yeah.
I am young enough to see when starting pitchers would go far into games and like be exciting. David Peterson was like the only guy that did that for us this year. And like I am holding on to that a little bit. It's like you're the guy that gave me some kind of length. You're the guy that like most of the time, a lot of the time.
You're the guy that gave me length from March to May.
Was it really that bad?
Yes.
David Peterson. Let's go to Baseball Reference. Because for some reason
the man had a great first half. He was an all-star. You think the man had like a 7.5 ERA at the end of the season. Are you crazy? Get him out of here.
I guess so. No, I just can't do it. I understand what you're saying. I believe you. I can't do it. I want to see if he can kind of sort of duplicate what he did last year. But
listen to this.
The numbers don't lie. I can't.
Listen to this. Listen to this. 2020. He you know, in the lockout season, he was all right. 3.4
that doesn't even count. That doesn't even count.
Right. 2021, 5.54 ERA. Then he comes back 7-5, 3.83. Not bad, right? So he's like an every other year pitcher. Then he comes back with a 5 ERA of 3.8 and 23. Everybody was bad that year. So what? 10-3 and 24, right? 2.90 ERA. His expected ERA was in the fours. That I just want to let you know that, right? And then he comes back with a 4.22. You know what his expected ERA was? It's close to 5. He got a lot of luck last year. So that's what I'm trying to tell you is that send his ass packing. If anybody would take David Peterson, you send him off. All right? Send him off.
I guess.
Give me Christian Scott over David Peterson right now. Right now.
I guess.
Right now.
I guess so. No, I understand.
Can't listen. It's bad enough we can't send Sean Manaea to Mars, right? We can at least send the guy that's making $8 million somewhere, because you can't have two bad pitchers in your rotation. It will sink your season. I'm telling you right now. Because at the end of the day, if you start the season with Peterson and Manaea and they go ahead and shit the bed again, now you're going to have to go into the market to go see if you can be able to trade him. And at that point, he has no value. He has
I don't think he has a lot of value now anyway.
Right, but at least somebody might be able to take him who's looking for some starting pitching. You might not get anything back. You might have to absorb. You might have to pay like half of the $8 million. But do something.
But that's the thing. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm ready to. I don't know if I'm ready to just give. Again, I just don't know if I'm ready to give up on him. He's not. Yeah. How old is he? How old is David Peterson?
29.
29. He's going to turn. Oh no, he's 30.
Yeah, 29, 30. He's hitting free agency after this season.
Oh. Okay. Well, all right. I mean, run him into the ground and let him test free agency. That's what we do. You know what I mean? Just throw his arm out. Throw his arm off. Just let him go. Just go. You gave us length. Go.
You're not sounding like a guy that appreciates homegrown talent. That sounds very, very brutal, sir. That's horrible.
Well, dude, look, I'm just like, again, I'm coping with the fact. I'm not even coping, because I do like the Mets rotation now with Peralta at the top. I'm just understanding the fact that the rotation that was just listed is probably the rotation we're breaking camp with.
Correct.
Unless Tong lights it up and makes them like, oh wow, man, this dude figured it out.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is gonna happen. Unless Christian Scott shows them something that's crazy. Like, that's the rotation we're getting. So Can I see that be okay? Yeah. Can I see maybe like David Peterson, after throwing the most innings that he's ever thrown, like adjusting to that in the offseason and like attacking the season differently? Maybe the Mets might even go with a 6-man rotation to appease Senga.
Yeah.
You know, because Senga,
I think that's what's going to happen.
Can't stay healthy. Like, maybe the extra rest day is going to help Peterson a little bit. I don't know. But I look at the rotation right now and I'm saying, I think they got it. Like, if in a perfect world, Kodai Senga does bounce back, and if the Mets make the playoffs, our 3 starters are Freddy Peralta, Nolan McLean, Kodai Senga. Throw Peterson in the bullpen, because I think he's done that before.
Yeah,
you know, I think he did that. Am I wrong that Peterson pitched in the bullpen, out of the bullpen in the Brewers series in 2024? Am I an idiot for that?
I think he might have. Yeah,
I think he might have. But again, so like,
chat, give me some information on that if he did.
If you remember. You know, that's yeah, sure. I understand that he fell off a cliff, and I understand that he hasn't been the perfect pitcher, but I have seen glimpses. I've seen things that make me think that this dude can put it together. He did. Yeah. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate you. So we can both agree Framber Valdez adding into the rotation would be great. You have another guy that's won before, a bulldog, a guy that's definitely going to give you innings, which would be great, because you got a guy that everybody keeps saying Freddy Peralta only goes 5. Cool, he only goes 5, but he pitches like a beast. Framber will go 6, 7. There you go. You got your length and you got your finesse pitcher. Awesome.
Okay.
If that's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's probably not going to happen.
Let's just hope David Peterson figured it out a little bit last year and knows what he needs to change up. Let's see if this pitching lab without Jeremy Hefner can help him unlock some different things that he hasn't done.
I think our pitching lab is going to be a lot better, just because we got that man from Boston. He's legit.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah,
I believe it. And I mean, look, I honestly, it's hard for me to even think about David Peterson when I just keep thinking about Nolan McLean and Freddy Peralta. You know what I mean? Like,
I always think about the worst of what we have, because it rears its ugly head when you don't want it to. And that's my thing. It's like, who's going to stink it up and who can be able to get sent to Mars? And the one name that's always in my head is like David Peterson.
Maybe less responsibility, maybe less like pressure on him is going to help him out, because again, David Peterson for a long portion in that last season was the only guy. He's going to get moved to 3, 4, or 5. Like, I'd imagine if you put David Peterson up against a lot of 3, 4, and 5 starters in baseball, he's probably up there with some of the better of them. You know, we're talking 3 or 4 or 5. We're talking about borderline bullpen games.
Get John,
and he's gonna go 7.
Get John Neese 2.0 out of here. All right, that's all I'm saying. Get him out of it.
I think he's better than John Neese. A little better than John.
Get junk throwing David Peterson out of here.
He was like the first time when he started turning it around, I was like, wow, we finally developed a good lefty.
David Peterson reminds me of Chet Steadman from Rookie of the Year. That's what he reminds me of. Just throws junk up there. just throws everything in the kitchen sink.
He throws some good. He throws some
garbage. Okay, listen. We're gonna go ahead and dissect this as the season goes on. And if I'm right about David Peterson, I want an apology. I will give it to you. I will give it to you. Thank you, sir. All right, let's go ahead. So if we're looking at the starting lineup now, right? Say that this is it. Like, we're not making any more additions. Build your starting lineup in regards to the batting order for me, Tom. Like, what is your ideal batting order for the Mets as presently constructed, what they have right now?
I'm probably gonna go when I think I still want Lindor leading off just because he had so much success leading off. Lindor 1. Mm-hmm. I forget, does baseball do like the best hitter bats second now? Is that what they're doing?
I think that's the analytic trend.
So I'd probably go Lindor, Soto, Bo, Polanco. Lindor, Soto, Bo, Polanco 4. Lindor, Soto, Polanco 4. 5.
Simeon?
Probably. Simeon, just because he's been there forever. Simeon 6. I might go. Beatty's probably gonna play left.
Yeah.
Left Beatty left. Luis Robert at 7. Alvy 8. Who am I forgetting at 9?
Robert.
No, Robert. I said 7.
Oh, you said 7. Okay.
Who am I forgetting at 9?
Is it Benj?
Well, Benj would be playing left field.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the projected starting lineup so I cannot look like an absolute idiot, but I can't seem to.
Armand, but give me the projected starting lineup for the Mets, man.
Lineup 2026 Mets. Because they do say Bo Bichette. I mean, not Bo Bichette. What's his name? Carson Benj playing left field to start the year, which is kind of crazy to me. But I go Lindor lead off, Soto second, Bo third, Jorge Polanco fourth, Marcus Simeon 5, Beatty 6, Alvarez 7, Luis Robert Jr. at 8, and then Carson Benj 9 because I think he's going to get a lot of play in left field. I guess you'd be switching Beatty and Polanco for DH and first base. Okay. But I like Polanco being cleanup.
Okay, so Tony HVAC too. He has Lindor, Soto, Bo, Robert, Polanco, Beatty, Alvy, Simeon, and then Benj and Taylor platooning.
I want Robert to prove to me that his bat's back. That's why I want.
So do you think that Robert and Ben should platoon?
No, I think stick Benj in left and let Beatty DH and play first base with Polanco. I think that's my ideal. Because if you're already going to give Benj the playing time and you feel like he's more of a corner outfielder than a center fielder anyway, just put him in his natural position and just let him play left field. You know what I mean?
Okay. That's fair.
Put him there, and then I would just put Robert. I would let him just have center field. Dude's a Gold Glove, could be a Gold Glove center fielder. I don't know if he's won one yet, but is a beast center fielder.
Yeah, I think he has.
I want to see him prove that that bat can wake up a little bit. So I'd put him probably put him like 7 or 8.
Yeah, I think I agree with you that he does need to prove himself, but I think that there's so many veterans. He hasn't been around this many like real proven veterans in a while because listen, the Sox have been garbage. Like let's just call a spade. And just think about like how the other guy that I think he played first base or his outfield and he got traded to the Brewers. What was his name? It was a Sox. Somebody help me out here. I can't remember his name, but he got traded, and as soon as he got traded, he took off and started hitting like Barry Bonds, right? because guys are so relieved to get out of that nightmare.
Oh,
so so the fact that Robert is going to be around Soto, Simeon, if we go, Polanco is here, if Lindor, there's so many guys that are going to be able to get this. Yeah, exactly. Vaughn, thank you so much. Right. So if you got guys that understand what they need to like show him in regards to being a professional, being locked in, being consistent, he has that in abundance with the Mets. I think you're going to get more of the 2023 Robert. I'm not saying he's going to hit 38 home runs, but you are going to get a guy that's more locked in, because what we seen last season, remember, once his name started to get like put into trade talks, he had the best stretch of baseball in that season.
Yeah.
Then he got hurt and they had to shut him down, right? But he started to say, all right, cool. Now it's time for me to play and be able to show everybody how good I am.
True.
So I understand that people have concerns about him kind of like mailing it in, but at the end of the day, he's not going to get an opportunity to do so here.
Oh, I do not think he's going to mail it in. That's not necessarily what I think.
I know what you're saying.
I see two seasons of like really subpar hitting, like significantly subpar hitting, like borderline on the Juan Lagares front, where you can field really well, you just can't hit consistently. That's what I've seen out of him the past 2 years. Fully acknowledging that 3 years ago he was a beast. Totally understand.
Yeah.
But and I totally agree. Coming to the Mets, he's going to have less pressure because he's not going to be the guy.
Yeah.
He's going to be a guy, not the guy.
Yeah.
So he's going to have less pressure. He's going to have a lot of protection because he's going to have a lot of professional hitters in that lineup. So it's not going to all fall on him. I would say I would rather have him go down the order just to, get a good base. You know what I mean? Go to the bottom of the order, get on base, get some timely hits, show us that you are that guy from a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And then if we want, we'll move you up in the order. And I also want to put a little bit more pressure and a little bit more responsibility on Francisco Alvarez's shoulders, on Beatty's shoulders, because these guys are still here. They're gonna have to perform. It's their time. Now it's
Tony
especially
said it,
Alvarez. I love Alvarez. I love the way he calls the game.
Yeah.
I love the fire and hype that he brings.
Yeah.
But he's got to stay healthy and he's got to hit consistently.
Listen, I think it's now or never for Alvy. Like, Tony HVAC too said, listen, I also think Alvy with his Triple A hitting coach now there is going to make Alvy the beast of
I hope so.
I think he has to. Like, I think that if he doesn't, and I'm not saying he has to go out there and hit 35 home runs, but if he does show consistency as a hitter, which he did do towards the latter part of the year, right? Like once he came back up, he showed a lot more moxie and a lot more vigor than we've seen all season, right? Him being in and out of the lineup. But if he can be able to put a season together where he can give you anywhere between 19 to 25 home runs, like be consistent and not get hurt, not, make sure that hamate bone doesn't get broken again where he has to miss time, then now you have a reliable bat towards the bottom half of that order. And that's when you get scary, because this is a guy that has a flair for the dramatic. And if he's learned anything over these last couple of seasons, I think that he's starting to put it together. Like you said, he calls the game great, but if he can be able to figure out that bat, man, like that just gives us a fantastic option at the tail end of the rotation. Oh, perfect. we got a fan in here.
Thank you for watching. But I will say, like, that's why I think it's perfect. You don't have to put a lot of pressure on Robert. He's had a rough couple of years.
Yeah.
Let him build up a base, hit behind Alvy, hit at the bottom of the order, get on base, set the table for when we have to, reset the lineup. And then if you end up hitting and you're putting up numbers, maybe you'll swap him and Simeon and he'll move up the order to like 5 or something, But I think it lengthens out the lineup. If you have him hitting down there, and again, I'm so glad Eric Chavez is he got sent to Mars.
Yeah, exactly. He had Chavez destroyed him batting wise. Absolutely,
Chavez destroyed everybody.
Eric Chavez is a friggin' idiot. He's an idiot. If anybody hires Chavez as a hitting coach again, you're literally tanking your season for on purpose.
Yeah, he's an absolute dummy.
He's an idiot.
He tried to change Soto's swing, a guy that knows more hitting than Eric Chavez does.
That's the thing with me. Like, if you have a superstar player You don't change anything. You just ask him, hey, you need my assistance with anything? If you need me, I'm here. I can be able to give you some tips. Yeah, if you want me to get you some water, you need a towel. Like, don't come to me and talk about, well, your approach. Have you ever hit as much home runs I've ever hit in a season? No. So get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here.
Agreed. And he's gone, thank God. But I think that lineup we just listed, I'm not really that looks good to me. You know what I mean? I think another thing that doesn't get talked about enough about this offseason, maybe it does, but it doesn't get talked about enough about this offseason, and what makes you made people necessarily nervous about giving up Sproat and Jet for Freddie is like we've said before on the show, actually, so it has been talked about. There weren't a lot of moves that the Mets could make that going into the season on paper will make you say that's competing with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Because on paper, you have to play the games, but on paper, the Dodgers look like the best team in all of baseball, National League and American League. Like, it just doesn't – they look like they're playing a different sport. It looks like on paper they're going to be playing a different sport almost. So I think that's what brings the hesitancy is like you're making these moves and we have no guarantee that they're even going to be playing the Dodgers for in an NLCS. But there's no guarantees in life at all.
Right.
You still have to play the games. Guys have bad seasons and guys fall on their faces. You know, so like just because the Dodgers have won 2 World Series in a row, they've got all these MVPs, they've got Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, all of these guys, they still got to play the games. And all you got to do is make the playoffs and anything can happen. Tell me anybody that thought the Blue Jays were even making it to the World Series.
No.
I'm sure
they were solid, but nobody saw the Blue Jays making the World Series.
Going into the year, nobody would have been like, you know what, the Blue Jays have a real good chance of making the Dodgers sweat a little. Nobody thought that. There's no way.
Here's my take, Tom. The Dodgers are good. Yes, they are. They're loaded. Yeah, I'm not going to even deny that. But here's what I'm starting to see with the Dodgers. They have a lot of guys that are not dogs. Outside of Shohei, outside of Mookie Betts, outside of Freddie Freeman, they don't have dogs. Like, I don't look at Kyle Tucker as a dog. This Mets team, I'm telling you right now, when you look at them on paper, they have dogs. They have guys that grind things out. And give me a team full of dogs that grind things out rather than the prissy, oh, we can be able to hit 250, 40 home runs. Yeah. Oh, I don't like teams like that. I think we were that team last year. Too ditzy, too little, you know what I mean? Complain about everything. Now we got some dogs in us. You know what I'm saying? We got some dogs on this team where it's just like, let's go. Let's go.
Unfortunately,
you know what I mean?
That's true. But the Dodgers could be cats or hamsters, and they're still going to be like, you know what, we can win a World Series.
Listen, you know the Blue Jays were 8 inches away from winning the World Series. That's all I'm telling you.
And if
8 inches.
And I'm not going to say. I know we curse here, but I don't feel like saying it because it's a little vulgar. But if my aunt had something between her legs, she'd be my uncle. You know what I mean? So I hear you. The Blue Jays were this close. I got you. I was rooting for it. That was probably crazy enough. I hated seeing the Dodgers in it again, but that was probably one of the best World Series I've watched in years. Like that World Series was awesome.
Yeah.
But I gotta call a spade a spade. The Dodgers are still built with like some crazy, superb talent. That being said, I have the 2015 Mets, who nobody in their right mind would have said was making a World Series run, and it happened. They made the playoffs. Magic happened. They got there. The 2024 Mets, we've talked about them on this show so many times, were projected to win like 73 games and got to the NLCS against these Dodgers.
Yeah.
So, like, all the Mets got to do is be healthy enough and competitive enough to make the playoffs, and anything can happen. Like, the Dodgers look loaded. They are loaded. That doesn't mean they're unbeatable. Like, we're not going to start this season and start getting ready for a parade in LA. It doesn't work like that.
Baseball I ain't worried about that. I'm focused on we focus on the Mets, and Tony got it right. They are an aging, unhealthy bunch of prima donnas. I like that. Listen, we're gonna get Tony up here to go talk his stuff one day because I like that. I like that type of mentality. Damn the Dodgers. We don't do this over here. We're not gonna be glazing the Dodgers at any time in this season. Like when Queens Get the Money is on YouTube, when you see it go live, we're not talking about the Dodgers. We're not talking about the Dodgers. We don't give a damn about what the hell the Dodgers are doing. You understand what I'm saying? We trying to get it done. We trying to get to the playoffs. We trying to see what happens there. If we got the dogs, we can be able to be there, and we're gonna look them in the face and say, all right, what's up? What's up? We ain't backing down from y'all punk asses.
Oh yeah, look, all I'm talking about is on paper. Like, you got to play the games. You know what I mean? Like, I love when the Mets go in with little expectations or low expectations, because that's when the surprises happen. That's when the fun actually ends up happening for us. Yeah. So look, glaze the Dodgers. Everybody can glaze the Dodgers all they want. Talk to everybody in the media. Tell us that the Dodgers are winning their 3rd championship in the row. Tell us that they're the new Yankees. Go for it. But I think the Mets are going to be a thorn in their side. I think a lot of teams are going to end up being a thorn in their side. Because I think a lot of teams are like, these are the only guys that are getting any play on sports media. I want to take them down.
Yeah.
And I believe that this Mets team can be that.
I'm going to be insufferable this season.
I hope so.
Right? Insufferable.
I hope so.
Every time something bad happens to the Dodgers, I will be here to report it to you. Okay, because I can't stand them. And if they better win, listen, they better win the World Series. Because if they don't win the World Series, they're going to be the laughing stock of baseball. They're going to be the laughing stock of sports. Because for you to go ahead and stack the deck like that and lose to a team that has half your payroll, I can't wait. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
It would be amazing.
Yeah.
I would love to get to an NLCS and just take down the Dodgers after all of this pomp and circumstances, all of this Dodger glazing. I would love it. But
look at Kyle Tucker in the face. Give him the bird, and give Diaz the bird too. Can't wait.
Both of them are soft. Both of them are softies.
To be honest with you, when we do face the Dodgers this year, I want to fight. I want benches cleared. I want the dugouts clear. I want to fight, because that shows me that we ain't backing down from they bitch asses. That's what I think I asked this. I don't remember. Chad, if you remember, let me know. Dodgers come to Citi Field. Does Diaz get a tribute video? Absolutely. No, don't give him nothing.
No, really?
Don't give him nothing. Don't give him nothing. Nope.
Yeah, I probably tend to agree with you.
Nope. You can wait until the following season to give him the fact that you left us like that, you can go F yourself. Go F yourself.
I agree. No, I'm kind of, I probably.
You know what I would do? Matter of fact, no. I take it back. I would give him a tribute video. You know?
I think I know
what kind of video it would be?
What kind of video would
him getting rocked? That's what I would put on the damn Titantron. That's what I would do. Welcome back. Because that's what we're going to do for you. That's what we're going to do to you for every time you pitch. That's what we're going to do to you. Bust your ass.
That would be so funny. Yeah. That would be so funny.
No loyalty. Tony, if you have no loyalty to us, we have no loyalty to you. Kick rocks.
Tony, it wouldn't be stupid, because he's one of the best closers the Mets have ever had, but he did scorn us, and he did go ring chase with the Dodgers, and likes to be upset that we brought in Devin Williams, who was only going to make his life easier. He's a baby back.
No video for him. No video for him.
He's gonna get one though.
No video for him.
You know he's gonna get one.
No video for him.
Another question: does Jeff McNeil get one?
Why?
I don't know. I don't think so.
What kind of video package you gonna have for Jeff McNeil? Where's the highlights?
The one season he won the batting title.
Okay. So you can be able to just put the picture of him holding the batting title trophy. That's it. Yeah. We don't need thank you, Jeff, and that's it.
Yeah, the only acceptable ones for me are Pete and Nimmo.
Yeah, Pete gets a long. He's gonna get one of those long videos where we draft them and you see some minor league tape and all of this other stuff. Polar bears. It's gonna be great.
Do you think in like 10 I don't want to get too far off track. It just popped into my head.
Yeah.
Do you think in like 10 or 12 years, Mets are going to Old Timers Day? Pete's been long since been retired. Do you think he comes back for Old Timers Day, or do you think he has a little bit of venom for how the Mets handled him the last couple of years?
Nah, I don't think for what I've seen, I don't see too much animosity from Pete. I mean, listen, he probably hates our guts behind the scenes, but it's a business, right? Like, teams make decisions all the time. Look, the Cardinals, they moved on from Albert Pujols, one of the greatest first baseman in all of baseball at that time. He was the best player in the league. Yeah. And the Cardinals said, we're not doing the contract that you want. And he came back because he's always loved St. Louis. I think it's always going to be that for Pete. He loves New York. He loves the Mets. It just didn't work out in regards to him retiring here. So, yeah, I absolutely see him coming back for Old Timers Day.
I think you're right. I think you're ultimately right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that situation really, it definitely time heals all wounds, especially if the Mets win before Pete does.
Right, and that's what I want. That's what I want.
Well, he went to the Orioles, so you got to.
If you ask me about Diaz, the doors will be locked for him. Okay, the doors will be locked for him. You're not, your key fob don't work no more.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that. It's like that video of Jamal Adams walking up to the Jets building.
Yeah,
and he tries to put the code in and it doesn't work. He thinks he got cut.
Exactly.
Don't cut me. He's just open the door. That's what Diaz is going to be on Old Timers Day.
Key fob. All right. So final thoughts, Tom, before we get out of here, man.
Final thoughts are I honestly can't believe we're this close to pitchers and catchers. I can't wait for baseball to be here. Like, this is a total, like, I was already positive that the Mets were gonna, adjust this team and make it better going forward. So
yeah.
I'm happy to see that actually did happen and I wasn't just talking out of my ass. So awesome that did happen. I'm really excited about where this team's gonna go. And I would like to see at least one more reliever. Go get Sir Anthony Dominguez. Go throw him in the pen and let's have ourselves an off.
I think he got signed.
Did he?
Yeah, I think the Blue Jays signed him today.
Okay, well, there's somebody out there. There's definitely somebody out there that they did.
Yeah,
looks like they did. All right, well, regardless, go out and get another reliever. Throw him in the pen because you can never have too many relievers. And
Tony, salute. Thank you for popping in here. As always, my final thoughts is like, listen, man, Stearns, bravo. All right.
It makes me so happy to hear you say that.
Chef's kiss, man. Listen, I was convinced. Sometimes I was tricked to be able to say, wait until let's see how it plays out. I didn't want to do it, but I did it. Sometimes I did it begrudgingly, and then I got there. And I believe in Stearns now. I see the plan. All right. I like it.
This is your show, and I want to make sure that you have the final word.
Yes.
But do you want to know the first thing I thought of when the Mets stole Bo Bichette from the Phillies?
What?
The first thing I thought of, I was like, wow. Barry did say that David Stearns was a bad negotiator.
Listen, that's fine. I could be able to take that criticism because I had to see it. Right? He proved to me that he could be able to swoop in and do dirt to those Phillies. And you got respect for me for a long time after that. You could be able to do that to the Phillies. Salute, my man. So David Stearns, you are cooking with fish grease, and I appreciate you. I don't know what's coming. I have no idea what's on the horizon, but what you showed me over this last week, I'm telling you right now. Shots have been fired. Salute to you, everybody who's in here, man. Thank you for joining the live. We'll definitely be back on here at some point next week. We are gonna be getting like a Russian type blizzard here in New York, so we'll see what happens. So stay safe, stay cool. Peace.